She told everyone, "He's basically my brother, nothing romantic about him." After keeping me as her emotional boyfriend for 4 years, I said, "Great, sis," and treated her exactly like family. Weeks later, she showed up. Demanding, "I'm Hunter, 29M, software sales rep in Chicago, and I think I might have figured out the perfect response to being friend-zoned. Not sure if I'm being petty or just finally setting appropriate boundaries." Background: I've been friends with Brooke, 27F, for 4 years. We met through mutual friends, hit it off immediately, and I developed feelings pretty quickly. But every time I tried to move things in a romantic direction, she'd shut it down with, "You're like a brother to me," or "I don't want to ruin our friendship." Classic friend-zone stuff, right? Except I was young and stupid and convinced myself that if I just stayed around long enough, proved I was worth it, eventually she'd see me differently. Spoiler alert, that's not how it works. For 4 years, I was her emotional support system. Late-night calls when guys treated her badly, listening to her analyze every text from whatever dude she was actually interested in, driving her to the airport for dates with other people. All while she reminded me regularly that I was such a good friend and like family to her. I know how this sounds. I was being a classic nice guy, hanging around hoping she'd eventually reward my friendship with romance. That's on me. But here's where it gets interesting. 3 months ago, I started dating Elena, 26F, a graphic designer I met at a networking event. Elena is everything I didn't know I was looking for. Direct, funny, emotionally available. And she chose me first instead of keeping me as a backup option. When I introduced Elena to my social circle, including Brooke, something shifted. Brooke's whole energy changed. She started asking more personal questions about my relationship, making little comments about how different I seemed, wondering if Elena was really right for me. But the real moment of clarity came when Brooke pulled her usual, "You're like a brother to me" line in front of Elena. She was talking about some work drama and ended with, "But you understand, right? You always get it because you're basically my brother." That's when it hit me. If I'm her brother, then I should treat her exactly like my sister. So I started calling her sis. Not maliciously, not obviously, just consistently. "Hey sis, how was your day?" "Sis, you should really talk to HR about that." "Elena, this is my sister Brooke." The reaction was immediate and fascinating. She'd get this confused look every time I said it, like she couldn't figure out why it bothered her. But she couldn't exactly complain about it, right? She's been calling me her brother for years. Elena thinks it's hilarious and has started playing along. She treats Brooke exactly like she would treat my actual sister. Friendly but with clear boundaries. No deep emotional intimacy. No late-night heart-to-hearts about relationship problems. Last week, Brooke texted me at 11 p.m. about some guy who was giving her mixed signals. Usually, I would have spent an hour analyzing his behavior with her. Instead, I wrote back, "That sucks, sis. You should talk to one of your girlfriends about it. I'm not really the right person for relationship advice anymore." She called me immediately. "What's wrong with you lately? You're being so weird." "I'm not being weird. I'm just treating you like family, the way you always said you wanted." That's not what I meant." "What did you mean?" Long pause. "Nothing. Never mind." Here's what I'm realizing. She never actually wanted me to be her brother. She wanted me to be her emotional boyfriend without any of the commitment or accountability that comes with an actual relationship. She wanted all the benefits of having someone who cared about her deeply, but none of the obligations. The brother label was just a way to keep me available while she pursued other people. And now that I'm treating her like an actual sibling, with the same level of emotional distance and boundary setting I'd have with my real sister, she's losing her mind. I'm not trying to hurt her or get revenge. I'm just giving her exactly what she said she wanted. But apparently, what she said she wanted and what she actually wanted are two very different things. Elena thinks I should keep doing what I'm doing. She had 4 years to figure out what she wanted from you, she said. Now you know what you want from her. Kale, my best friend, says I'm being petty, but that it's about time I stopped letting Brooke use me as emotional support without giving anything real back. Am I wrong here? Should I go back to the old dynamic just to keep the peace? Or is it fair to hold her to the family relationship she's been insisting on all these years? Update 1. The family barbecue happened yesterday, and it was educational. Elena had the brilliant idea to actually organize it like a real family gathering. She invited some of her siblings, a few couple friends, and told everyone to bring the family, including Brooke, who I'd specifically invited as my sister. Brooke showed up looking like she was going to a networking event instead of a backyard barbecue. Overdressed, perfect makeup, the whole thing. Meanwhile, Elena's actual sister showed up in cut-off shorts and a tank top because that's what you wear to hang out with family. The contrast was immediate and obvious. I spent the day treating Brooke exactly like I treat Elena's siblings. Casual conversation, no deep emotional discussions, lots of group activities instead of one-on-one time. When she tried to pull me aside for serious talks, I'd say things like, "Sis, this is supposed to be fun family time. We can catch up later." Elena was perfect. She included Brooke in group conversations but didn't seek her out for private bonding time. Treated her exactly like you'd treat your boyfriend's sister that you're friendly with but not particularly close to. By the end of the day, Brooke looked frustrated and confused. She kept trying to recreate our old dynamic. The intense eye contact during conversations, the physical touches, the "you're the only one who understands" energy. But every time she'd do it, I'd respond like she was my actual sister. "Thanks for understanding, Hunt. You always get me," she said after telling some story about work drama. "That's what family's for, sis," I said, and immediately turned to help Elena clean up plates. After everyone left, Brooke lingered. She offered to help clean up, which she's never done before. "Can we talk?" she asked when it was just the three of us. "Sure, what's up, sis?" "Alone." Elena looked at me. "I'll give you two some sibling time," she said, and went inside. "What is this?" Brooke asked the moment Elena was gone. "What's what?" "This whole sister thing. The way you're acting. I'm treating you like family. Isn't that what you always wanted? You know that's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" She got quiet for a long time. "I meant that you're important to me, that I care about you. I care about you too. That's why I'm glad we figured out this sibling dynamic. It's much healthier than whatever we were doing before." "It wasn't unhealthy, wasn't it? You had me as your emotional support system without any of the commitment or accountability of an actual relationship. I was giving you everything a boyfriend would give you except physical intimacy, and you were giving me back." "What exactly?" She looked genuinely shocked, like it had never occurred to her to think about what she was giving back to the relationship. "I was being your friend. Were you? Or were you keeping me around as an option while you pursued other people?" Long pause. "That's not fair. When's the last time you supported me through something difficult? When's the last time you asked about my life without it being related to advice you needed?" She didn't have answers for any of that. "This is better," I said. "This way we both know exactly what we are to each other. No confusion, no mixed signals, no unrealistic expectations." She left after that, saying she needed time to think about things. Elena came back outside. "How do you feel?" she asked. "Honestly, relieved. For the first time in 4 years, I know exactly where I stand with her, and I'm good with where that is." The texts have started. Not crisis texts about whatever guy she's dating, but new ones. "I miss our talks. Things feel different between us. Are you mad at me?" I've been responding the way I'd respond to my actual sister if she was being dramatic. "We can talk at the next family gathering." "Everything's fine, sis. For the first time in 4 years, I feel like I have control over my own emotional life. I'm not waiting for Brooke to decide how she feels about me. I'm just treating her like family and building my actual romantic relationship with someone who chose me first." It's been a week since the barbecue, and I haven't gotten a single late-night crisis call, which either means Brooke is handling her problems like an adult, or she's getting her emotional support from someone else. Either way, I'm sleeping better than I have in years. Update 2. Well, the whole sister treatment situation has officially escalated. Brooke finally said the quiet part out loud, and honestly, I don't think either of us expected how it would go down. She's been texting more frequently since the barbecue, nostalgic messages about missing how close we used to be, and feeling like something important is changing. I kept responding as her brother, supportive but with clear boundaries. Then last Friday night, she showed up at my apartment unannounced. Elena was there, and we were just having a quiet evening in, watching movies and ordering Thai food. "I need to talk to you," Brooke said when I opened the door. She looked like she'd been crying. "Hey sis, everything okay? Come on in." Elena looked up from the couch. "Hi Brooke, is everything all right? I need to talk to Hunter alone." Elena and I exchanged glances. "We're kind of in the middle of date night," I said, "but if it's an emergency, we can chat for a few minutes." Elena squeezed my hand as she walked past. "I'll be in the bedroom if you need anything." Brooke sat down on the couch and immediately started crying. "I can't do this anymore." "Can't do what?" "This whole sister thing. This distance. This isn't who we are." "It's exactly who we are. It's who you told me we were for 4 years. I was wrong, and there it was. The admission I'd been waiting for without realizing I'd been waiting for it." "Wrong about what?" "About us being like family. About not wanting to risk the friendship. About everything." I sat down in the chair across from her instead of on the couch next to her. Kept that physical distance. "What are you saying, Brooke?" "I'm saying I've had feelings for you this whole time. I was just scared of ruining what we had. But watching you with Elena, seeing how happy you are, I realized I was protecting the wrong thing. 4 years of friendship. 4 years of being told I was like a brother. 4 years of watching her date other people while keeping me as emotional support. And now, 3 months into a relationship with someone who actually wanted me, she was ready to admit she'd been lying the entire time." "That's really weird to say to your brother, sis," I said finally. "Are you okay?" Her face went through about 10 emotions at once. "Don't do that." "Do what?" "Call me sis when I'm trying to tell you how I feel." "But you are my sister. You've been my sister for years. You made that very clear." "Hunter, stop. I'm being serious." "So am I. You spent 4 years training me to see you as family. You can't just decide that doesn't count anymore because you're having second thoughts." That's when she got angry. "This is about Elena, isn't it? She turned you against me." "Elena didn't turn me against you. Elena just showed me what it feels like when someone chooses you first instead of keeping you as an option." "I wasn't keeping you as an option." "Then what were you doing? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you were keeping me emotionally invested in a relationship that only existed when it was convenient for you." She stood up. "So that's it? You're just going to throw away 4 years of friendship?" "I'm not throwing anything away. I'm keeping exactly what you said we had, a sibling relationship. You're the one who wants to change the rules now that they're not working in your favor." "I love you. I love you too, sis. That's why I want what's best for both of us. And what's best is the family dynamic you insisted on all these years." She left after that. Elena came back out a few minutes later. "How was that?" she asked, clarifying. "Good clarifying or bad clarifying?" "Good. Really good." She finally said what we both knew she was thinking. And I finally said what I should have said years ago. Elena curled up next to me on the couch. "How do you feel?" "Like I just got out of a 4-year emotional contract I never actually signed." The texts have stopped. I think Brooke finally realized that I meant what I said about treating her like family, which means I'm not going to chase her or try to convince her to stay if she doesn't want the relationship I'm offering. Elena and I have been talking about moving in together. It's amazing how much clearer your actual relationship becomes when you're not spending emotional energy managing someone else's feelings about your relationship. 4 years ago, if someone had told me that Brooke would eventually admit she had feelings for me and I'd turn her down, I would have thought they were crazy, but that was back when I thought being wanted by someone was more important than being chosen by them. Now I know the difference. Final update. A lot has happened since my last update. Figured I'd wrap up the whole Brooke situation since people have been asking for closure. Elena and I got engaged 2 weeks ago. Nothing fancy. I proposed during a hiking trip upstate, at this overlook we'd discovered on our 3rd date. She said yes before I finished the question, which is very Elena. She knows what she wants and doesn't waste time with uncertainty. We posted the engagement photos on social media, tagged all our friends and family, the usual stuff. Got a ton of congratulations, lots of excitement about wedding planning, all the normal responses you'd expect, except from Brooke. She didn't like the post, didn't comment, didn't reach out privately. Radio silence, which honestly was fine by me. I figured she'd moved on, accepted the sibling dynamic, and was focusing on her own life. I was wrong. 3 days after the engagement announcement, Brooke called Elena directly. Not me, Elena. At 9 p.m. on a Wednesday. "Hi Elena, this is Brooke. I think we need to talk." Elena put her on speaker, because we don't keep secrets from each other. That's something you learn when you're in an actual partnership, instead of whatever that thing with Brooke was. "What's up, Brooke?" "I'm concerned about Hunter. About this whole engagement thing." "Concerned how?" "I think he's rushing into this to prove something. To get back at me for not realizing my feelings sooner." Elena looked at me and rolled her eyes. "Brooke, Hunter and I have been together for almost a year. We didn't get engaged to prove anything to anyone. But you don't really know him, not like I do. We have 4 years of history together." "You mean 4 years of you telling him he was like a brother to you?" Long pause. "That's not. It's complicated. It's really not. You had your chance to build something real with Hunter for 4 years. You chose to keep him as emotional support while you dated other people. Now he's with someone who actually wants to be with him. You don't understand our dynamic. I understand it perfectly. You kept him available for your emotional needs while pursuing romantic relationships with other people. That's not friendship. That's emotional manipulation." I'd never heard Elena be that direct before. She's usually more diplomatic, but apparently calling your fiancé a rebound after getting engaged crosses a line. "I wasn't manipulating anyone." "Then what were you doing? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you're upset that your backup plan fell in love with someone else." "He's not my backup plan." "Then what is he?" Another long pause. "He's my family." "Great. Then you'll be excited to welcome me to the family as your sister-in-law." The call ended pretty abruptly after that. Elena looked at me. "Well, that was interesting. I'm sorry she called you directly. That was out of line." "Actually, I'm glad she did. Now I understand what you meant about the manipulation thing." "How so?" "She bypassed you completely. Tried to go through me to get to you. Like she thought if she could convince me you were making a mistake, I'd break up with you and you'd come running back to her." She was right. Brooke had tried to triangulate our relationship instead of dealing with me directly. Classic manipulation tactic. "What did you think of her argument?" I asked. "That you're marrying me to get back at her? Honestly, it's the most narcissistic thing I've ever heard. Like the only reason you could possibly want to marry someone is to prove something to your sister." We laughed about it, but it also made me realize how deep Brooke's delusion went. Even after our confrontation, even after I explicitly told her I was happy with the sibling dynamic, she still believed that everything I did was somehow about her. Qley came over that weekend for the full debrief. "So she called Elena directly," he said, shaking his head. "That's bold." "That's desperate," Elena corrected. "Same thing. What's the plan now?" "No plan," I said. Brooke made her choice. She chose control over connection 4 years ago, and now she's choosing drama over acceptance. Elena and I are planning our wedding and our life together. Brooke can either be happy for us as my sister, or she can continue whatever this is somewhere else. And if she keeps calling? "She won't," Elena said confidently. "She only called because she thought she could manipulate me. When that didn't work, she'll find someone else to get her emotional validation from." Elena was right. We haven't heard from Brooke since that phone call. No texts, no social media interactions, no showing up at events. Complete radio silence. I found out through mutual friends that she blocked both of us on everything. Apparently she's been telling people that I chose someone else over 4 years of friendship, and that Elena came between us. Which is hilarious, because it completely misses the point. Elena didn't come between us. Elena showed me what it looked like when someone actually wanted to build a relationship, instead of just maintaining control. The friend who told me about Brooke's version of events asked if I wanted him to correct the record. I told him not to bother. People who know me will see through the manipulation. People who don't know me well enough to see through it probably weren't that close to begin with. Wedding planning has been amazing. Elena and I are doing everything together. Venue visits, cake tastings, guest list planning. It's been incredible to build something with someone who's as excited about it as you are, who makes decisions with you instead of for you. The guest list situation was interesting. Several mutual friends asked if we were inviting Brooke. Elena handled it perfectly. We sent an invitation to Hunter's sister, but we haven't heard back. Family dynamics can be complicated sometimes. That's been our approach to the whole thing. We're not bad-mouthing Brooke or trying to win people over to our side. We're just living our lives and letting people draw their own conclusions. The crazy thing is how much better I feel about everything. For 4 years, I had this low-level anxiety about Brooke, wondering how she felt, analyzing every interaction, hoping for signs that she might want something more. Now that it's completely resolved, I realize how much mental energy that was taking. Elena and I talk about everything. Our future, our concerns, our hopes, our fears. We make decisions together. We support each other through difficult things. We celebrate each other's successes. It's what I thought I had with Brooke, except it's mutual and honest and healthy. Do you ever miss it? Elena asked me last week. The intensity of whatever you had with Brooke? I thought about it. I miss thinking I had something special, but I don't miss the actual dynamic, the constant uncertainty, the emotional labor, the hoping for something that was never going to happen. And you're happy with boring old mutual love and respect? Devastatingly happy. She laughed. Good, because you're stuck with it. The wedding is in 6 months. We're planning a small ceremony, close friends and family only. Elena's siblings will be in the wedding party. Her brother is officiating. Her sister is maid of honor. If Brooke wants to come as my sister, she's welcome to. But she'd have to actually act like family instead of whatever she was doing for 4 years. I'm not holding my breath. But for the first time in years, I'm not waiting for anything either. I'm just building a life with someone who wants to build it with me.